I punched it out. I want a bunch of credit cards, I want a bunch of clout. I got 7 bitches hitting banks, they on different routes. I shot the fake ID on my brain.
Insurance, please.
So,
Thank you.
Good trash. I don't pay the homeless people like 5 cents.
Alright, looks like it's the dollars cash. Do you have that with you?
Yes.
Okay, come on in, have a seat.
Sheesh! Bright as hell in here, and I will put it on my sunnies because my skin is... I want to talk about yesterday because I feel like we didn't really talk about it.
Shit. And you got some stuff, right?
Yeah, I got some footage because I was like...
I remember when you were doing it, I was like, what the f?
Yeah, I need my footage. Anyways. Let me sit with me so we can tell it together. Yeah, Fawn is really sunburned and her eyes are swollen, so she's gonna wear
I'll show you like for a second and then I'll put my sunglasses on. Oh shit!
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, I also got this. And you guys should get it if you guys go to Hawaii. So.
Period. Fawn's elementary friends, right? We're having like a kickback. So we went to like go drink and like vibe, and it was really, really fun actually.
Yeah, she was kind of nervous to go.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know anybody here, but everybody was so sweet and I love them. And then Fawn's brother agreed to like drop us off and pick us up because we don't have a car. Like we're just walking everywhere. And they live like on the other side of the island. So dropped us off, we were there. The thing ended, so we called him to come get us. And the first red flag was that he didn't answer the first call. So we're like looking, freaking out. We're like, should we stay here? Should we Uber? Like, what do we do? And then before he was like dropping us off, they were like joking about them like drinking and whatever. So they were joking about them like drinking, and it was her brother and his friend. And we're like, what was that? Because they were RDD, you know? Back to the part of like the party ending. Fawn's brother then calls her back. And then what happened? Were you like, come get us or what?
I called him like at least 3 times, and then he called me back when I went to go help my friend clean up because she was cleaning up after the party. And then I went back to my phone. He called me, and I called him, and he was like asking me, "Are you guys ready?" or like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "I thought you fell asleep." He's like, "No," and he's like, "I'll be on the way." It took him like
so long,
like maybe half an hour to like, I don't know, maybe an hour, maybe. It felt that long, and he lives literally like 15 minutes away, so I was like, what the and then they get there, and we leave, say goodbye to everyone, but when we get in the car, they're kind of lit, like, they're like, how's the party? And his friend was already lit, like, when we kind of met him, so, we were kind of chilling, and then we leave, and they're asking about the party, and like, I was just dead tired, and they're like, it sounds like it was boring, or like, it was kind of dead, and I was just like, I'm
it's just like, they were like super hyped. It's like, oh my god, how's the party? And we're like, it was good, but like, we were so tired. Like, I feel like we're still on our time, so like, if it's late, it's 3 hours later back home, you know?
Yeah, and it was also 12 o'clock, so that means that it was 3 o'clock in Washington. So, also when my brother called me back, he said, do you wanna spin fire, because that's what they were doing, and I was like, no. Like, I personally wouldn't, and I think Rebecca would definitely not. So that's why I was like,
I like to watch it, but I would never do that.
And also, if I'm drinking, I don't trust myself. I don't know how they trust themselves when they're drinking and doing that. What was that?
Dude, I keep hearing that last night.
Really?
But I think it's just at the door
thing, right? Yeah. So on the way back, they're like talking and they're having fun. They're always vibing. So he was kind of like skirting, but that's just how he drives. He drives really fast. But like, also, Rebecca got a vape yesterday, and there's like a blue light at the end of the flume.
Where's my flume? I'm gonna show you.
And they both kept freaking out because they were like, like, they thought it was a cop, which I understood when I started driving and you started using it, and I was like, oh, like, it's just Rebecca, because I heard them say it multiple times.
Okay, I'm gonna show you the blue light. Ready?
Yeah, but in the car it's more because it's dark and it was like 12 o'clock.
Yeah, so it's like
it was
blue,
brighter,
blue.
and it looks like a cop.
It looks like a cop, like light blue.
Yeah. So they kept freaking out like on the way to Waikiki.
Yeah.
And then we get literally in town and they asked us if we were hungry. I wasn't hungry, but Rebecca was kind of hungry, so
I was like, yeah, let's go eat.
They were gonna take us to this vegan chicken wing restaurant, which my brother, he's a little weird with all his stuff. Like, he loves like interesting things. Like, he's very particular too.
But he was just like raving. He was like, these chickens are so good.
Yeah, he was like, they're so good, they're vegan.
So you guys have to try it. We're like,
yeah, whatever food. And I was tired. I thought that they were all just gonna go get it and then bring it back into the car.
I didn't even know where we're going. I just knew we were driving, and I was like, he'll probably go after he drops us off.
Yeah, literally, I thought he was gonna go eat by himself because he didn't say we're all gonna go.
No.
He kind of just decided to drive to the place because he was like, we're taking a detour, and I was like, I
He's
thought he was just driving
drunk.
around to come, you know. And then we stop at the place, but also there's cop cars everywhere. Like, I saw it last night and the night before when we came. Like, there's cops everywhere. When like Raymond dropped us off and stuff, there's cops everywhere. So we drive to the place. There's a cop car in front of us, and he turns onto that street, and then we park, and we think it's like it went away. So we walk to the place. Of course, it's closed. It's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. And then we come back, and my brother's like, oh, I'm sorry, like, we just thought, like, we were gonna...
Yeah, so from then we were supposed to go to a different restaurant to go eat all together. Because he was just like, I think he was trying to like hang out with Mom because he hasn't seen her in a minute. And like the night prior we were like exhausted from the airport. So he was like, hey, like, you told me that you can't go out yesterday because you were tired. And he's like, but today you have to go out. And she was like, fine. So like he convinced her to like hang out, you know, because we were freaking exhausted. So then I was like, you know what, he's right. We can stay up a little bit later, it's whatever. So then we like
so then we pull out, right? So we're going back on the street that we just like parked on, and we're going. And then all we see is they didn't even make the sound, it was just blue lights behind us. And then we get pulled over, and then we're at a street where you don't like, there's no place to pull over. So Raymond's like, I don't know where to pull over. And he pulls over. We're all wondering what did we do because we just pulled out and nothing. Then he comes to the window, and his friend has alcohol everywhere, like literally in the cup holders. He's drinking one. There's some on the floor. And all I see is him moving around. he's like getting everything all done. He got the mat under your feet, pulled it up, put all the alcohol underneath, and like put it on
laid
top.
on the mat on
and
top.
then he like chugged one or something and put it underneath. I don't know. And then they were trying to like talk to each other about like, I think his friend has a brother that works for the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, and told him like, if you
tell him that you know him, he might let you off.
Yeah.
Like if he's cool with him, then he might let you off.
So then the cop comes and he asks, or my brother asked like what he did or something, right?
No, he was just like, hey man.
Oh yeah, he's like, hey, what's up, brother, or something. And
so literally
like
he got pulled over because his lights weren't on.
Yeah, and we were like, what the f? Like literally that's the only reason.
That's like such a small
And then
thing.
all of a sudden he like asked for his license, which my brother doesn't have. It's not my fault.
I didn't even know, bro. I was just like, what? So he asked for his license and registration. So he's like looking for like the paperwork, and he's like panicking, low-key. He's just like, oh, no.
Because there's so many. But I also panic when.
I feel like he was just very nervous because he knew that he doesn't have a license, so he was like trying to avoid it. But the officer was just like, no rush, man. Like, you're fine. And then he was just like looking for it, and then he finds it. He goes to, he's like, okay, this is good. Like it's still ongoing. Like it's not expired, so you're good. And he's like, can I just see your license? And he's like,
he's like, I kind of don't have one. I just have my ID.
Like, and then at first he was like very chill. He's like, oh, no, that's fine. He's like, I just need anything with like your picture on it.
Yeah. And
so
he's like,
okay.
Yeah.
So he looks for it, like he gives it to him, whatever. He goes to the back to like check out his name, like his record, you know. And then and they're talking, and then his guy friend is just like, do I like take off? Do I go to the ocean? And then Raymond's like, what the hell? Like, no, like just stay put. Like it's not you they're pulling over, it's me. Because I don't know, like I feel like he has a lot of history with cops or something, but he was like very.
He said he had a warrant.
He was ready to like run out of there. And we're like, Fawn and I were like looking at each other. We're like, what is going on? And then the cop like comes back, and then he like gives him his things back, and he's like, your eyes are red, your eyes are watery. He's like, as soon as I like pulled up here, I could smell the alcohol. And he's like, due to those things, like, I'm gonna need you to do like a what's it called? Sobriety test.
But also he's like, it could be the other people in the car. So
yeah.
If you pass this, you could just be let off. But if you don't agree to it, we can just arrest you and yeah.
He was just trying to give him his options. So then Raymond starts like, oh like, what do I do? And his friend's just like telling him like a bunch of
yeah, he's like, you don't have to do it, just don't say it, and then you'll just get arrested and you'll be in jail.
And it won't be in your record, like, well, whatever. Yeah. Like, he's like trying to like make up his mind. He's like, you know what, I think I'm gonna take the test. And he's like, okay. So then he like takes off like his things, like gets out, goes to the back, like starts like walking and like doing the thing, like saying ABCs, whatever that they do to test him. And then like we're just looking over, like, and then they had backup cops there. I don't know for what. There were so many cops for no reason. And then he's like doing that, and then we're just like looking like what's gonna happen. And then his friend's like, oh, he'll be fine, like the guy's chill, like he'll let him go, you know. And then oh my god, I forgot earlier, like when he first got pulled over, like his friend was like, do you know I don't remember the guy's name, but like he said a name, and the guy was like the cop officer was like, no, like he's like, that's my brother, like trying to be like, you know, like we have it inside, like please just like be chill. And he's like, I cannot let you off, like I have a body camera, like everything that you're saying is being recorded.
Before they didn't have body camera.
Yeah, he's like, it was different back then but not anymore, so I can't do that. It's like legit his job, you know, he's trying to play by the rules, which I get. But so then okay, then he's like back there trying to do like the walking test, whatever, and like he's fine, like he's doing everything correctly. And then we see like the cop come up to like his car and like get the freaking breathalyzer, and we're like, he's done. Because you can't legally drive with like 0.8 alc, and like that's nothing. And he was like definitely drinking, so I don't know how drunk he was, but like it's more than 0. You know.
Yeah, he was fine though. Like he looks normal. Like he didn't act as.
Yeah, and I feel like it'd be different if he was pulled over because he was like crazy driving, but it's literally like the lights, like that's so frustrating.
Literally the smallest thing that he could have did, and he got pulled over and got arrested for drunk driving, which
and
how would you even know that without like, you know, without them driving crazy, you know? I don't know, like it's like what?
Which I get because it's very much illegal, but like that's not the reason why he got pulled over. I get for like the license thing, but
and it's also 12 o'clock. No one's around driving unless you're probably drunk. I'm just kidding.
No, I think you should never drunk drive. Like I'm so against that, but it's like it's just frustrating that he got pulled over for a different reason, that he was about to get arrested. So anyways, he gets the freaking breathalyzer and we're like, we're screwed. Like what are you trying to think, like what's gonna happen next? Because he was our driver. Like I've never driven anywhere except for Mexico and Portland. So it's like, what the hell?
I was drunk, so I was like, I can't drive.
Vaughn was drunk. I had alcohol, so I was like,
I couldn't drive.
I'm over the 0.8 amount, so I was like, who the hell is gonna drive? So then the other officer comes and is like, hey, like he's being arrested tonight, like his bail's gonna be this much, like you guys can come get him tonight or a different day. And then he asked us like, have any of you guys been been drinking tonight? And then we're like,
oh, we're silent for a second.
Because like, do we lie to a cop, you know?
Yeah, literally. And we were like, what is he gonna do? Breathalyze me too? So I was like scared. I would have said no, like confidently, but I was like, no.
She was like, no.
Cause like I wanted to drive. I was like, I could drive, but since they're like right there, I can't say no. So I said no, but he knew that
we had been drinking. So then he was like, okay, like you can. Typically when you like get arrested for DUI, they tow away your car. So he told us, he's like, typically that happens, but like we won't do that because there's like a lot of you guys here or whatever. He was like, you guys can either call somebody to come get you, or like you guys can figure it out, you know. And we were like, okay. And like I don't know anybody here. Who the hell's gonna come get us? Fawn knows like 3 people from elementary. Like
yeah, well they all were sleeping probably.
Yeah, it was late. It was like a weekday.
With the one that I could have asked.
Yeah, they were all drinking. So we didn't have anybody to call. And then Joe is his name, is a friend. Joe was like calling people, and like they were all saying like, sorry man, because like they were all very far out from where we are. And
they had work in the morning, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so like everybody was telling me no. We're like, what are we gonna do? We're like kind of freaking out for a little bit, and then we're like, they're debating like, do we just sleep it off? Like, do we go get him? Do we walk there? Because we were like super close. And then her brother calls us from jail, and he's like telling us like, this is how much it's gonna be. And we're like, yeah, we can come get you tonight. And he was like, I think he wasn't expecting us to be able to come get him, at least that soon. We're like, we can just come get you, like, no worries. So then we're like, we just want to find a way to get there without being pulled over, essentially. So then he was like, you should be fine if you're driving safe, like, I think you guys can handle it. So he told Fawn, like, just please drive. And then we had to go to an ATM because they only take cash. So we had to go to an ATM, get out the bail money, and then Fawn drives us to the police department. I don't know, the freaking jail.
It's like bail bonds or something.
Yeah, I don't know. So she drives us there, and then like we get off. She goes gets him, and like he's fine. He's just like kind of embarrassed and like
pissed.
Yeah, annoyed that happened.
You know?
So then we're like, we just want to go home. Like, we're glad you're okay, but like we need to go sleep. At this point, it was like 2 a.m., almost 3.
And I needed to pee really badly because we were just sitting in the car, and I drank a lot, and I drank water too after. So it's just
it was just not a good situation. Stressed. So yeah, we got him, and like all is well, but it just sucked that happened. But yeah, we got pulled over, got him out, and now here we are. He's still into work the next morning, which is wild. But you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Yeah. And he was wanting to go to the bars too. I was like, bitch,
oh yeah, at first he was like, do you guys want to go to the bars? We were like, no. We need to go to bed.
I'm tired. And then he decided to go to the
chicken wing spot.
Wing spot with cops everywhere around it. Put your head, man.
But yeah, all is well. At least we were able to come back home, and like we were able to get him, and he didn't have to spend the night there. But yeah. We're probably hanging out with him tomorrow, so you'll see him. But yeah, Fawn and I are gonna finish up here, and then we're gonna go swimming at the pool.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Is this like straight or what the? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Just like magic.